Okay. I don't want any echoes. All right, good morning. Again, guys, thank you for joining. Vivian is running a bit late, so I'm gonna get us started. I wanted to go over a couple of roles with you guys one I just shared this morning, but there's another role that I plan on sending out. I'm just waiting to hear back from the company about one of the roles that they weren't sure about, but I'll go into those details in a moment. So let me share my screen because I want everyone to have like a fair chance to have like that one-on-one with Vivian. I'll do like an overview before she joins. And then hopefully by then she can then start going over each one individually. Let me see. So this morning, probably about an hour, a little like an hour or so ago, I sent out this role for HSBC. One of our alums who works, I think he's in like their risk department, but he's like the VP in their risk. He graduated in 2020. In any case, he shared this HSBC role with us. So I highly recommend if you have any banking, finance, business background, that you apply for this role because that can definitely give you an edge when applying. So they're looking for an operational and resilience risk data data resilience senior manager. This role it seems like it's hybrid. More than likely there would be, oh no, I don't think Vivian's going to be able to join us, but that's fine. We'll just continue. So yeah, this job is staying home for work or hybrid, but a lot of companies I've been noticing recently, they want some form of hybrid. I'm assuming Arlington Heights is in Virginia. I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
It's in Illinois.
Oh, that's Illinois. Oh, I was so
Yeah,
off.
I wish it were in Virginia because I wanted to move over there, but it's in Illinois.
I'm thinking about Arlington, Virginia, which is like in the DMV area. Clearly, I was totally off. Thank you for that. So Arlington Heights in Illinois is really interesting. But I think it still should be something to apply because again, a lot of companies are looking for that. But I've even had, and I'll share that with the role that I'm going to discuss next. That they're open to like if you're in another area, you may have to do some traveling, but it doesn't mean like you can't, they won't hire you if you're not in the Illinois or in that area, which is interesting. I know like HSBC, they definitely, I know we no longer have it in New York. So I guess they're going through like a transition phase. I know like my grandmother had HSBC and she had to change her bank over because they're no longer in New York. So they might just be going through a transition. And hopefully, like I said, you'll be able to apply and, they'll be open to wherever you are, being that they are open to hybrid working. So some of the things that they're looking for, let's go to requirements. Let's see. Risk categories, fluid understanding of risk management principles, including experience with policy development, control definition, 6 to 10 years experience in related technology. I wouldn't really don't hone in too much on that part. As long as you're familiar with doing some of the stuff, if you're familiar or can do some of these things, I highly recommend just applying to the role. Because we have the connection with the VP, he asked that we send the resumes over. So if this is something that you would be interested in, please just apply. The worst thing that they can tell you is no. And then just send me over your resume and I will definitely pass it off. This one is a little bit more senior, and it is real specific. So like if you don't necessarily have the background, I can understand. But I will also double check if they have any other data science roles at HSBC. But again, I'm not really too sure with how they're doing things because I don't know anyone. I mean, maybe Chicago. I wonder how far are, that is from Chicago. Arlington Heights. Not too sure. I don't know too much about Illinois besides Chicago. So that's one role. Earlier this week, I had a meeting with a recruiter, the CEO of ICA Global. They are based in the DC DMV area. That's DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And majority of their clients is government based. And I was also told that if you were to apply for them, that you would have to get like clearance from like when they do the background check. So that is something else to really consider when applying. I also asked them about what is it called? Immigration status, because I know, like, for instance, there are some, companies with very strict policies about who can apply, especially when it's government affiliated. So I just wanted to confirm that. They told me because they are in need of a data scientist that, say for instance, if you're in the process of getting like your green papers, they probably wouldn't work with you. It really depends on what stage you are in that process. But like, say for instance, if you're applying and you're just starting the green paper process, they probably will pass on you because there's an immediate need for the role. But again, they mentioned like, as far as like covering or paying the cost of it, it's really on a case by case situation. So if you're in one of those type of predicaments, I just recommend applying and then seeing where it goes from there. But as I mentioned, if you're in like the earlier stages of applying for your visa, you may want to hold off because they're not going to be able to support you because they're going to need someone like soon. Some of the other things that, and let me go to the email that they sent me that I am going to send out to you guys. So one of the biggest things for them when applying, or what they look for in candidates, is communication. So one of the things that they mentioned to me was that they do a lot of presentations to non-technical people like me, and being able to translate that. So, being able to translate technical things to non-technical people. They're looking for self-starters, taking the initiative, and don't need to have you. They want their employees not to be so reliant on other people. Like they don't want you to need to have your hands held. There are some projects where you are going to have to work in a team setting, but for the most part, it seems like a lot of the stuff is by yourself, and they want to make sure that you can get whatever it is that you need done for them without being told to do things. Python and R programming is great. They're really looking for that. They're open to other different programming. So that's all of you guys for the most part. A lot of you guys have clearly Python and R. That's what we teach in the boot camp. But anything additional will help. They said AWS certification is A+. As I mentioned already, it's a government industry role. So again, if that's something that you're really interested in, that kind of data set, then I highly recommend. I remember reading on the job description, one of their close clients is the Food and Drug Administration. So if you're really interested in that, if you have a background in that, I highly recommend applying to those to this role. So what happened is they had a data engineer role also available. And then they have a senior one, but the data engineering role, they told me that they weren't sure if it was going to be open or not. So that's why I've been holding it off to send it to you guys, because I want to send you all the roles at one time, opposed to, breaking them down. But I think I'm gonna just send this one out to you guys so that you guys can start applying. So some of the things that they're looking for is experience with analysis, data mining, machine learning, statistics, and algorithms, good experience with business intelligence tools such as Python and Tableau, ability to create reports, ability to develop persistent monitoring applications, so SQL, R, Python, SAS, and SPSS, public trust clearance. So that's what I meant about them doing, um, the government background check. They really do like I guess like a deep dive. Complete a bachelor's degree, so you at least need to have a bachelor's degree in pretty much most of the STEM related degrees. Tableau certification certificate in this. So what I really recommend, and I'll send this out, but when I do send this out, I do recommend doing like a side by side of your resume and this job description and making sure that it matches what it is that they're looking for specifically, and as an employee. Maybe there are some soft skills that they mentioned, as they do here. As I mentioned also before, and I've said before, communication is very, very important to them. So you want to make sure that you highlight those things when you are applying. So yeah, I will send this to you guys afterwards. I don't want to wait any longer. It's Friday. I want to make sure that we get some people applied to there. I'm also having them come present next week, Friday, too. So next week, Friday, I have Kpmg coming in the morning, and then afterwards at 11, and then at 11:30 we're having them come to present as well. So in case you want to just learn a little bit more about the company, you want to hold off on that, or if you have any questions, definitely hold on to those for next week, Friday. Any questions?
Yeah, well, sorry, what was the name of the company again?
This company, International Consulting Associates.
Okay, and then the role is it's a in office in person in the DMV area.
No, this one is remote.
Okay, okay,
There may be some traveling at some point, but for now it's remote.
okay. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? All right. So I don't know. I don't think Vivian is going to be able to make it because she has a meeting and it's spilled over. So I've started going over job trackers individually. If I haven't gotten to you, I am so, so sorry. I'm trying to get through them, but I have started going through some of them, and a lot of you guys have been doing great work with, applying to the different places and taking the feedback. So I think as long as you guys keep doing that, it will definitely work itself out. Joy Deep, because I know you're in this call. Is it okay if I use you as my first person?
First person.
Well, is it okay if I use your job tracker?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I want to use yours as an example, so I can go over it. So I'm gonna just go over Joy Deep's and see who what kind of information I can just pull from his. But I could tell you already that he's applied to over 300 jobs, right? So he's really been on top of the amount of jobs that he's been playing. I have a question. How many interviews have you landed since?
I've landed 2 interviews.
2?
Actually, no, 3.
3? Have you had any of those interviews recently?
I had 2 last week.
Mm-hmm.
One is just like a take-home exam that I got assigned this week.
Okay. How was that? Is it similar to any of the coding challenges that we've presented on?
No, earlier on in the stage, they want to see that you understand the overall machine learning process or data analysis process.
Mhm.
And it's later on that they get you to grind lead code problems. But for now, they want to see that you understand it at a conceptual level.
Okay, now have you heard back from them?
Well, two of them I didn't make it to the next round. And then this current one I'm working on, I just need to submit it to them and find out what the next steps are.
Got it. Okay. All right. Good to know. So the first thing that I did, well, the first thing that stood out to me when I opened your job tracker was the roles that you applied to KPMG. Did you by any chance reach out to um oh my gosh, what is her name? Oh my god, is she spoke oh my goodness.
Casey
Casey. Yes,
Hoffman?
yes, yes. Casey, did you reach out to Casey about these roles?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And the only one that you heard back from was this one.
Yes.
Okay. Is that one of the two that you interviewed for?
Yeah, that one that I applied directly through her, I made it to just the first case study interview.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, I just had a phone conversation with the recruiter, and I followed up an email earlier this week, and they said they'll get back to me.
Okay. All right. Um, I'll let's see what she says about that. Now, this company, just some insight. They're going through a really weird stage right now. We had two of our alumni that was working with them. I don't think you're going to hear anything back from them because I think they're downsizing right at this moment. Because the two people that reached out to us, they're currently looking back out again. So I don't think you'll hear anything back from them. I think they're going, I don't know why they have job openings postings. I think that's weird. I know that was through us, but if you apply to it, you're probably not going to hear anything back from them because they're going through a weird stage. I'm going to follow up with the rest of these people. The
Mhm.
teacher assistant, I know they're not doing until, well, no, the fall semester. I could reach out to David and see what's going on with that. So I will have to speak to them and see what's going on. I know Jellyfish Co is still open too. So I'm going to read. I see. I'm gonna have to do some additional outreach on your behalf for them. The FanDuel, because we also have someone interested. The role that was shared with us, in that particular department is no longer available. But I don't know if it was you who I shared your resume with. So many. Forgive me, but I know I followed up with someone, but I will definitely double check on that. I just know that one of that I shared a role with someone on someone's behalf, and they said that that's not their department, but me and Vivian vouched for that person. It probably was you, Joydeep. I think it.
Yeah, I applied to FanDuel.
It probably was. It sounded awfully familiar, but I'll definitely follow up. You know, one of the struggles I've been having is I would reach out to some of the people and I won't hear anything back. I know if I reach out to like Jellyfish or Columbia, because I spoke to David not too long ago, I know I'll hear back from them, FanDuel too. But for some reason, it's a very weird time with companies. I think because there is an expected recession to hit. So I think a lot of companies are going through an adjustment in making sure what she means add her. They're going through an adjustment and it's just really weird. Like we used to get so many job openings last year and it's really, really slowed down over the past few months. So I think there's just like a transition that some of the companies are having. Not to say not to apply, definitely get yourself out there I see that you are, but I think, you know, it's just a really, really weird time with applying to jobs. But nonetheless, I'll definitely double check that. I know you've been applying to a lot of places. Deloitte, you spoke to Douglas?
Douglas, no, I didn't speak to any Douglas.
I might be also confusing you with someone else, but we have somebody at Deloitte. Why I keep doing that? We have somebody at Deloitte. Let me remind myself to reach out to Douglas. But literally, guys, as you see, what I'm doing with Joy Deeps is what I do with every job description. I mean, excuse me, every job tracker. I go through each of them and then I look at the companies that you guys applied to and see if there's anyone that we would know or if there's any insight that I can share.
I
About.
don't see anything. Am I supposed to be seeing something on the screen?
Do you guys see Joy Deep's tracker?
No.
No?
No, yeah,
Okay.
I don't either.
Oh, sorry, guys. Let me try that again. I wonder why is, oh, I wonder. Why is it doing that? No, that's Safari. Okay. Can you guys see it now?
No.
Still no?
Uh,
Okay, hold on. That's so weird. That is so weird. Still nothing? You're sharing your screen. That's so weird. Hold on one second. Let me see. Wonder what is going on. Still nothing?
no.
That is so weird. Okay, I don't know what is going on with my computer. Hold on one second. Hold on. That's so weird. Why is my computer doing? I think it's because it's Friday. My computer is going through the cases of the Fridays too. Let's see. Why are you doing this to me? Still can't see?
Nope.
No.
Oh my geez. OMGZ. My daughter would say.
Is
I
that
don't-
you start screen sharing but not showing anything?
That's why I'm confused because I thought, I mean, it's maybe I need to refresh my computer. I don't know what's going on. Vivian, I'm gonna make you host and I'm gonna restart my computer. I have no idea what's going on.
No problem. Where are we at now?
I was going over Joy Deep's job
So-
tracker.
Can Joe Deep share screen?
Yeah, I can share screen.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
Can you guys see it?
Yes,
it's
yes.
coming up.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
great.
Coming up. Has Courtney reviewed any of your sheet yet? Or you just get started?
Well, she was just going through the different positions to apply to and whatever she had connections to.
Got it. Okay. So usually you can color code your sheet. For the one like absolutely no hope, like rejected, you can turn them into red and move them to the either top of the bottom. Then the one is still processing, you can color them like yellow. The one like promising, ongoing, you can color code it green. Then put a similar color in the same place.
Oh, okay.
See how your pipeline moves.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But for some reason, they put it in the box. They put it in the box. Tomatoes and lettuce.
So what are the runner? What are the interview currently going? Will you be able to tell?
Yeah, so this week I'm actually doing a take-home exam for a company for a startup called Citizen. They just link people with different emergency services. It's mainly SQL. It's just taking a look at a particular Google BigQuery data set, and I just need to derive some insights from it. It's more conceptual than it is technical. In
Yeah.
fact, the company isn't really much into grinding lead code problems as part of the interview process. They want to see that you understand what you need to do with the technology.
Got it. Okay. Anything else?
Last week I had a case study interview with Kpmg.
Okay.
And again, it was just to see that I understand the overall machine learning process, that I understand the different types of regressions that are used for particular situations, the workflow of a data science project. And I actually didn't make it to the next round, which would have been a technical coding, but they want to make sure we understand what's happening in the bigger picture before we dive into the details.
Got it. Okay. Oh, we probably should schedule another time to review what you did and see how to improve it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I saw you did phone interview with Deloitte. How did that go?
Oh, it was just a phone screen. This position right here, it kind of builds upon my prior knowledge as a civil engineer.
Got it.
But I told him that I was more interested in data science roles. So the recruiter I was speaking to told me they would reach out and get back to me. But I emailed them this Monday just to see where they're at, but I never got a response again.
Got it. Okay. Sounds good. Anything else you have movement you would like to review?
No, not really.
Okay, once you color code it and put different chunk in different pieces like rejected, pending, ongoing, you will have a better idea how your funnel look like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, otherwise it feels like you have done so much, but you haven't see exactly how they converge into opportunities.
Right.
Are you applying for this role that most of them are posted within 24 hours?
What I was doing when I first started is I was looking at just everything that was available on the job board, and
Okay.
then looking at LinkedIn, Indeed, and a couple other sources here and there, just going through actually just taking a chance at the oldest positions and then working my way up to the most recent ones, just to see if maybe like further down the pipeline, they still are interested. But I'm at this point where like if I go on next Monday morning, I'll just have the most recent positions, and they'll probably be a lot more manageable for me.
So I noticed you didn't apply for the GFK role we sent last week. Also, the two role we post last week, you didn't apply, did you?
GSK. I thought it was a, let's see.
Search for Courtney's email. She sent 2 positions out last week.
Yeah, I recall it was more of a software.
GFK.
GFK. Okay. Yeah. Actually did email her back about it.
Okay, you should document those too.
Let's see. I think I have GFK.
You can control F and then search it.
Oh, right. GFK. Yeah. Machine learning engineer. Yeah. On the 21st. Yeah, I emailed Courtney about it.
There is another opening. Search Courtney's email. Did you apply to that one?
He's applied to just about all of them.
Good. Okay.
The thing I don't have to worry about Joydeep is that he's gonna apply to it.
Yeah, if you're talking about the HSBC, yeah, I just applied this morning.
And I just spoke to them about the ICA role. I was trying to hold off, but I'm just going to send it out because they told me about the data engineer role. They weren't sure about what was going on with that, but I'm going to send out that in the senior data science role that they're open to.
Okay.
They're presenting next week too, Vivian, just to let you know.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, you've been working very hard. You applied to a lot of places. I noticed, like Condé Nast, you applied to data science level 3. I think a few positions you applied to require more experience than you have. So I would recommend to extend your search beyond data scientist title, like operation analyst, marketing analyst, or other titles, because like different companies have different definition for analysts and data scientists. For Google only have 2 levels. The business analyst is anyone below PhD. They have statistic analysts for PhD level. They don't even have a data scientist title. So I wouldn't like too much hold on to the title. Also, I feel most of the position apply very senior, like title 2, level 2, level 3, principal machine learning engineer. You really need to read the description, see whether it's a little bit rich or it's too far over rich. My general read, I feel like I can see a few title have more experience asked it, like Alexa Group, software engineer. I placed student into this role and this company, this team before. They definitely have way more experience than you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, for some reason, actually, a recruiter emailed me about software engineer Alexa AI. So I've just been in touch with him. Actually, I talked to him on the phone yesterday about it, but it's like very, very junior. 1+ years, 2+. But this was just pure luck.
The one I placed, they have at least 4 to 5 years coding.
Oh.
And they probably, so the guy I placed into this role, he was like our top TA for the past 10 years. One of the best we ever hired. So I imagine they ask a lot of coding skill. Even they mentioned like 1 to 2 years is like professional industry coding SDE job.
Mm-hmm.
That's my interpretation, but maybe things are different these days. I cannot be 100% sure.
I see. And you mentioned like other titles to look into. What it was like operation and analyst, marketing analyst, business analyst.
Business intelligence, marketing analyst, operation analyst. Yeah, I think you should expand more on the title.
Okay. Because I saw that listing that was sent out about Macy's, and it was like operations planner, but I wasn't sure whether it's targeted data analyst or data scientist, but you'd recommend I apply for that Macy's role?
Yeah,
Because you don't
I
have the rack data science in field experience, you need to put your feet into the field first.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
and if I'm not mistaken, that Macy's role, I think they needed like someone to do SQL. So you very well could do data science like things, but that might not reflect in the job title, but it is reflected in the role.
Oh, okay, I see.
Because like that Macy's role that was actually shared with us from one of our alum. It's for a different department than he's in, but you will be doing data science like things.
I see. Is that role still hiring? Is it too late to apply?
I think you could still apply. Just let me know and I'll follow up with I forget what his name, but yeah, I'll follow up. But
Okay,
yes,
great. Thanks for the clarification.
no problem.
Okay. So anyone else like to get review?
I just have a question. If I could ask. Yeah, so I have a lot of I came into the boot camp because you know, I have a lot of experience with predictive modeling, mainly using logistic regression, and it's all been in marketing. So I would really be, you know, targeting marketing because I mean, you know, I have found jobs in the past, you know, it's just that I know that SaaS is on its way out, and I really wanted to do more modeling than what I was doing because, you know, I mean, I don't know if like if they list a certain amount of years of coding experience. I don't know if my SaaS coding experience counts because when I do data analysis or a lot of things I was doing with pandas, I was like, okay, how do I do that SAS thing in pandas? And I'm going to Google that, you know, or in R, how do I do that SAS thing in R? You know, and so it's like I'm not sure, but I have, you know, I'm only going to list like 7 years on my resume, but I have you know, I've built churn models and marketing response models, lookalike models. I know, understand the business context in which you would build a certain type of model. You know, I know the metrics that digital advertising campaigns are measured by. You know, I have all that that business knowledge, and you know that the companies, you know, marketing who will from a marketing person, I think, you know, I have like that experience is relevant, you know, because I mean, from my last job, my title was analytics manager, but you know,
Can you answer your question?
I don't know if I can apply when I apply for jobs and they say like how many years of coding experience. Does my I don't know how many does my SAS coding experience count?
It's actually it's your call. If you want to count it, you need to be able to explain that. If not, like it's really a personal call.
Okay. Thank you.
I'd like to share my tracker and get feedback.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Let me see here. Share screen. Let's see if this worked. 1 second. Can you see my screen? Here. Are you able to see my tracker?
It's coming up. Yeah.
Okay, so mine is not as like I haven't updated it as much as Joey Deep, but I've applied to around 375 jobs, and I've applied and try to do a wide variety of different job titles like data scientist, data analyst, business intelligence, because my background is really diverse, and I need to update this and mark it. I know, so it's a little bit confusing to kind of parse through it. But what I've found so far is I've landed like 6 interviews, and the first few interviews were actually, there were companies that were not like hardcore technical companies, so I thought it would be easy to land the job, but they ended up not selecting me. And then now I interviewed with I'm supposed to have an interview with Facebook for a machine learning engineering position. I did a mock interview with them a few days ago, and they said I still needed to prepare more on graphs and recursion before I do the actual interview. So I postponed that by a couple of weeks, the actual interview. And then I had another interview for a big data software engineering position, and they gave me some cognitive test, which I passed, and they called me for the next interview, and that was non-technical actually. And I don't know whether they're going to proceed with that or not. But just in general, I think I've just been trying to apply to a wide variety of roles, and maybe even I actually just applied to USPTO because I've got a JD, and I'm trying to see like what would be a good strategy to kind of leverage my diverse background and see if I can land more interviews and possibly get a job.
A few comments. First, your sheet doesn't have the job link, so it's really hard to see whether it's a suitable position or not. Also, you don't have the status. You don't know whether you move on or they rejected. You have no idea how things are going now.
Okay. Yeah, I need to update this. After seeing Joy Deeps, I realized I needed to do a lot of work on this. So I'll do that.
You don't need the role if you're applying everything on Easy Apply, but you do need the link and the current status.
Okay.
So, otherwise, it's really no way to tell what's your pipeline look like. How many got rejected? How many things are going, and how many things are like promising.
Okay. Got it.
Also, I think it's related to your resume. Like having diversified background is a double-sided sword. People can see you like, oh, you try this, you try that, but you haven't stick with one thing for a while, or your experience is limited. So you kind of like need to add more experience as much as you can, no matter taking an intern or something. Because if your past background is in legal, I told you before, we had JD before, most of them went to SEC or any place require both legal background and the data science background. So
yeah, is there like and I've been trying to look for, I've looked for legal technology companies. I've applied to like iManage. They've got roles that seem like a good fit. I've applied to USPTO. Maybe I'll have to look into SEC, but yeah, I think that's something I need to really look into to try to leverage that.
I think also, I think you only have half your work experience at Zillow, right? In data science.
Sorry. So I worked in American Express. I've worked at a startup recently. So I've got like 3-4 years in data analysis and kind of like, maybe not hardcore data science, but like data analysis. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen your latest resume, so I couldn't tell if your 4 or 5 years experience are well explained. Last version I saw is Zillow. So if you want to send me an updated resume, I can take another look.
Oh yeah, sure. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Also, you haven't updated tracker for 8 days. Does that mean you apply for anything last week?
I had those interviews, and I had to take some tests and doing the Facebook. So I was really like, with the Facebook, they really want you to know the lead code really well. So it's that's something, if anybody's applying there, just make sure you really study lead code. But yeah, that's so I kind of took a break for a few days, but yeah, I'm gonna get back to it.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
I can send you over the presentations that Charles did. He actually just got hired by them, started probably like a couple of months ago. So he did like a series of presentations, kind of relatively similar to the Facebook one. So I'll include that in today's follow-up email so that you can go over those if you need practice.
Okay, thank you so much. And then you had mentioned that U.S. that international consulting position where they want citizenship.
Right.
That sounds like a really good possibility for me because I am a citizen and I had a security clearance a long time ago as well.
Okay,
So,
perfect. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna also send that roll out too, and I'll let you know. And then I'll follow up and send them your resume. And like I said, if you have like any questions, definitely hold off on them for next week's Friday presentation when they come.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate
No
it.
problem. No problem.
Okay, anyone else like to share? Anyone? Courtney, have you go through everyone's sheet?
Let's see. Let me go through my list. Sorry, I was working on the follow-up email. No, there's Jadip's. I know Caroline is here. I went through hers. I don't want to put her in blast, but I've been through hers. Been through, is Ali was here earlier. Is he still here? No. I've been through Ali's, Caroline, Ken's, quite a few Tams. I have hers, Michael, Juliana Douglas, Joydeep, Costa, Anupam, Sohita, and Amanda. Those are like the people, Min as well. So yeah, I've been through quite a few of them over the past couple of weeks and been leaving comments for them to help them out.
Okay, so is there anyone else like to share and get some feedback?
Yeah, sure. I can share mine.
Okay, great.
Okay. Okay, so this is my tracker. I went on vacation, so there was like this week.
Okay, because I remember I wrote that to you. I was like, wait, it's been about a week. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I had so this is kind of how I keep it. And then I was thinking that I could just do like a new sheet every week. Have like a template for it so it stays organized. I don't know, I guess. So far I've only had 2 positions that have kind of reached out to me, and I've applied to like just this week alone was like 100 positions. I just kind of went down on LinkedIn and applied. Yeah, this is pretty much it. So the only one I have is this position here where they reached out. And so I'm having an interview with them later. So I did the phone interview already, and then I have a video interview later, and that's like the only position. I have another one, which is like, I think a recruiter is gonna call me soon for a position at United, but that's about all that I'm hearing from. Yeah.
Are you only applying for a remote job?
To start, yes.
Do you want to apply anything close to home?
Yeah, I'm open to that.
Yeah, I think the trend is more and more company are pushing people back to work.
Mhm.
Okay.
So if you
Unfortunately.
try in-house role more, the response rate might be higher.
Okay.
Yeah, especially in your region, like New Hampshire, Boston area.
Okay.
Are they all the new posted job? All of them?
Yeah. So I go to like for maybe the first couple days, I did like the last week, and then I switched it over to like the last 24 hours.
Got it. Yeah, you should focus on the one posted 24 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And definitely increase the amount that you're applying to per day.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. How many you applied so far since 11th?
So I did 20 per day for 5 days, and that was like 100.
Okay, got it. Yeah, time to really
Step it out.
pushing it to 40 per day now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. All right. How many interviews should I be expecting?
Usually I see like every 800 jobs you apply, you probably hear back from 30 to 40 of them, and it result into 2 to 5 offers.
I'm sorry, you said about 800 applications?
Yes, you should hear back at least 60 to 40 and push to the final round for 2 to 5 of them.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's why we recommend applying to about 40 a day, Monday to Friday, so that you can, reach that area. Now, say for instance, if you're doing that and you're not hearing back, then that means that we need to look back at the resume and probably change some things. So one of the things that I always recommend is doing, especially if this is a role that you really want, doing a side-by-side comparison of the job description in your resume, like an ATS system, and making sure that your resume matches what it is that they're looking for in a role. Now, I wouldn't say do that for every single job, because it will take you a very long time to apply to those amount of to meet that amount. But definitely, if there's something that you really, really want, take that 10 to 15 minutes to make those alterations before submitting your resume.
Okay. So I'm hearing back a little bit less than I should, I'm guessing.
So then definitely make sure, because you know what it is too, sometimes they may use certain terminologies that you may have done. And I've seen that before. I met with an alumni, and she, like, it was one role that she really was interested in, and the key thing that she was missing was SQL. So that was an indicator to me that because she didn't really highlight SQL in her resume, that's probably why she wasn't called back, because she was like, she felt really confident when she applied to it. But I was like, I don't think you realize that they're looking for something that you did not mention in your resume. You could very well have that, but if it's not reflected, then it's going to count against you.
Okay.
So sometimes you got to take that extra step to make sure that it matches what they're looking for. You want to make sure that there's the soft skills that they're mentioning in the job description is reflected in your resume. If communication, team building, and all those type of things is something that's important to them, but you don't make mention of it, they're probably not going to call you back either, because those culture fits are just as important as the technological skills, those hard skills as well.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely keep that in mind when you are submitting your resume to places.
What would you suggest to kind of like improve the culture fit?
The culture fit, well, don't lie. That's number one. Don't lie and make it seem like you're one way and that's not who you are. But to show, so ways that you can highlight your soft skills is mentioning it in your summary, maybe mentioning it in your bullet points. So like, say for instance, I know everyone had to do a group project, right? So you can when you're discussing your group project for the boot camp, you'll make mention of, collaborated with 3 fellows to determine whatever the project was, and then continue on and explaining. So showing that you were able to collaborate with other people and get a project done. There's so many ways that because communication is a very broad term, right? For instance, I'm just saying communication, presentations, those types of things, it's a very broad term. There's different ways that you can do it, but being able to highlight it and make mention of it is what's important. But you can incorporate those soft skills into your bullet points that you discuss in your projects or your previous experiences as well. Some roles, sometimes they want you to have previous experience in their industry, right? I had one hiring manager that was looking for someone who had experience with teaching, nonprofit. So even though, it may not be the same exact thing, it's still similar, right? You could do something similar to teaching or engaging with younger children or of some sort. Maybe you volunteered, right? So that shows what it is that they're looking for. That's more so what it is. So you may have done it, but maybe you need to expound on that and explain that in your resume so that they can see it. Because without it, they're not going to know.
Okay.
So highlight your soft skills in your summary and your bullet points of your resume. Maybe in your summary, you use the synonym to communication. Maybe you just want to change it to say communication and vice versa, So those are other things to take into account because that's how it's getting picked up through the ATS system. And if it doesn't beat the ATS system, it's not going to be seen by an actual person. Right.
Is there anything else I could improve upon for like the tracker and kind of the way I apply it?
No, I love your format. I think your format is awesome. Just apply to more places so that we can really see like what's going on. And since you're back this week, now we can make a better analysis of what's going on when you're applying to places. You've only dedicated 1 week to applying, so it's really kind of hard to tell. So definitely continue on. Keep the format. It's great to look at. It's easy to follow. And we'll be able to make a better determinant of like what the next steps are as you continue to apply.
Okay. Should I also like if I like hear from the first interview, should I take the position or like how does that normally work?
What do you mean take the position?
Like let's say I do hear back from this one that I'm interviewing for. Should I like keep interviewing and try to see what else is out there, or should I just go for like the first position that's like offered to me?
That is something that you really have to sit on because I know there's different things that go into why people would take a job as soon as they get it, mostly financial. If that's not one of your stresses, if you're not interested in the role or the company, I mean, I would have backed up beforehand and not done it. But if this is something that you're, not interested in, then I'll say, okay, maybe not. But then again, it's, it's a double-edged sword. Like, this is an opportunity. You also got to keep in mind the current economic situation this country is about to get into. So it's like, do you just want to get something so you have the experience and you have some type of income instead of none because we don't know what's about to happen in the next few months. Like there's so many different things to consider. So I can't really tell you if it's right or not. It's really something that you have to sit down and weigh because there's so many things that go into it when determining whether or not you should take that role. Me, I have certain situations, but I take it. Yeah, I would take it. If I have nothing to lose, then I don't see why not. If I feel like it's going to enhance things more than it's going to make it worse, then I would take it. But again, everybody's situation is different. So I can't say yes or no, but you definitely have to weigh all your options out when determining what would be the best step for you. If it was Courtney, I would take it. But my situation is different from yours. I have a child, I have so many other things going on, I would take it. But if that's not any of your stresses, and if you really are looking for something specific, maybe that's not something that you do. So yeah, you really got to weigh it for yourself and what's important for you at the moment.
Let's just hope I keep moving.
Listen, keep getting yourself out there until someone tells you yes and determine whether or not it's a fit for you. I had people who did, as soon as they got the job offer, they took it. And then, for instance, I've had people who taken job offers and it wasn't their ideal situation, but they're like, I want the experience. I had an alum who graduated last year. Her husband was in a program too. And, she stayed with her job for a year. And then she was like, okay, I got the experience that I needed. Now I'm ready to go and to look into something else. So you could do that as well. You're not, bounded to this company for life. So if you want to just get the experience underneath your belt and then pursue something else, that is something that you can do too.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, just get the experience, and then once you're like, okay, now I'm ready to go on and really look for what I'm looking for, then you pursue that, and then you come back to us and we'll help you with that too.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Any other questions, guys? No. All right, well, it's been an hour. So I have quite a few things to follow up with you guys. I am going to send you a follow-up email for today. I included a few things just so that you guys have, so like making sure the time frame of the type of jobs that you're applying to. So you want to do the ones within the first 24 hours. Making sure you color coordinate your job tracker. I also am in that same email, I'm sending out a list of different job titles that you guys can apply to or look and search for. And these job titles are based off of alumni who graduated from our boot camp. So you can get an idea of like the different job titles. And it's probably more, I don't want to flood you guys with too many. So you guys just have an idea of other words that you can search when you are applying. And I'll also put my my meeting link in there as well. So you guys can have, in case you guys want to meet with me, moving forward. And then I said I was sending something, the Charles presentations. I'll also include that as well. Let me make a note of that. Otherwise, you guys